Did Weezer accidentally write the perfect triad study? I think they just might have. Let's check it out. Weezer's multi-platinum debut, commonly known as the Blue Album, is full of rock classics like Say It Ain't So, The Sweater Song, and Buddy Holly. But it's at 2 minutes 11 into the album's opening track, My Name is Jonas, in which you'll find a solo which just might be the perfect guitar study for triads up the fretboard. And not only does it teach you triad shapes up the neck, but it is an awesome cross-picking or economy picking exercise. We'll get into that a little later. What makes this a great triad study is that it has a repeating chord progression which just keeps on climbing up the neck through the different triad shapes. Now that's how it's played, but the original song had the guitars tuned down a half step to E flat standard. I've raised everything up to standard tuning for ease, but just remember to drop down that half step when you're ready to play along to the original. That's all you need to know. Let's zoom in and take you through the shapes. We begin with the C chord then, and that's going to be in the 5th fret on string set 2. That's strings 4, 3, and 2. We bar finger 1 and we play those 3 notes across strings 4, 3, and 2. That is a C triad. Technically a C/G or a C over G. G is the lowest note. But we start there. Then we move to A minor. And this brings in the first voice leading concept to remember. When you change chords in thirds, either a third higher or a third lower, there will always be 2 common notes. A minor and C share 2 common notes, the C and the E. The note that changes is the G, which will become an A. So on the fretboard, if I find my G, raise that a whole step, and I get an A minor triad. This is a root position. A is the lowest note played. So we go C over G to A minor. Now that change there will always be the same for all of the C triads. You're going to just adjust the G up a whole step and you're going to have your A minor voicing. A minor we move to G, and that is the move of a second, right? Neighboring chords is a diatonic second. Now when that happens, you can move down to a lower shape or you can climb up to a higher shape. When you move in seconds, there's no common notes between the 2 chords. With this study, we're always climbing up. So we're going to go to this G triad just right here. This is a G/B, G over B, G triad with a B bass note. The G root is on string number 2. This is part of the C shape under caged. The second set of triad gives us another voice leading tip, and that is that circle progressions will share a common note. Circle meaning the circle of fifths. So you'll see that C and G are in neighboring segments of the circle of fifths. What this means is that they will always have one common note. The G is the common tone between G major and C major, so that is our pivot. Around this G note, we pivot to a C chord in a root position, root 3/5. The C is on string 4. Now, following our voice leading rules, we raise the G a whole step and we have an inversion of the A minor over C. From here, we can move back to the G, but we're going to keep moving up to the second inversion, G over D, that one again from the A shape or indeed the G shape. For the third set, we could stay here, again pivot from around the G to a C over E, but at this point, Rivers Cuomo, he moves on to string set number 1, strings 1, 2, 3, with this same chord, but played on string set 1. It looks like this. It's the top part of the E shape under caged. It's a C over E. So C root note is on string number 1. C over E, the G is on string 2. Raise that the whole step following the rules. And we get A minor over E, resembles the open D minor chord. And then we're going to slide on up to G in a root position. That's G, B, D, definitely the top part of the A shape under caged, root 3/5. final set, we're pivoting once again around this G note for a G to a C over G. The G is on the bottom, so we raise it the whole step for A minor. And from here, we go up to the G in the 15th fret for a G over B. Zooming in onto the picking hand, the challenge really comes when we try and get this up to speed with the picking. You're going to be arpeggiating these triad shapes with the following pattern. If we're on string set 2 for the first triad shapes, the pattern is 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. So one full measure of this will be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. You've got 2 possibilities to get this going. The first one for you bluegrass buffs is a cross picking. Now that is alternating your picking direction with every note. I don't enjoy that, but it would look something like this. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. I fluffed that, you see. I don't get on well with that. What I prefer is a more economy picking approach. And when you do that, what you're thinking about is where is the next note coming from? Is it on a lower string towards the floor or a higher string toward the ceiling? If you're on a lower string, then you go with a down pick. And conversely, if it's a higher string, you go up pick. 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3 would be down, up, up, down, up, up. Now I find doing that, I get much more control and I just prefer it. It just flows more smoothly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then once you've done that, try and add in the triad movements, something like this. Etc. You build it up to speed. The thing to look out for is as you move from string set 2 to string set 1, you will be double picking the G string. So just look out for that one. There you are, your challenge for this week. Let's see if you can get it up to speed. Lesson tabs are here. My favorite triad exercises is here. And down in the description, you can get your free triads PDF with all of the triad shapes you could possibly need. Practice well, and I'll see you again next week.